April is Tsunami Awareness Month in Hawaii, where the state's warning siren system remains a critical method in alerting the public in advance of a natural disaster. The system was featured in a Hawaii Emergency Management Agency video posted by the International Tsunami Information Center in 2022.
We use the siren system to let you know that there's an impending threat or to take action. With a lot of our sirens, they're over 10, 20, 30 years old. So as we go to modernize them, we look at each island and we look to kind of rebuild those. On Kauai, we have about 55 sirens. On Oahu, we have about 180. On Maui, across the 3 islands that make up Maui County, we have 79. And on the Big Island, we have 94.
During a recent budget hearing at the Hawaii County Council, civil defense administrators were questioned about the functionality of the siren warning system on Hawaii Island and who is responsible for maintenance.
Are you now responsible for installing sirens?
Ha'ima has gone under administrative change. And so the current logistics staff is relooking at the program. They want to include the counties in prioritizing which sirens are repaired faster than others, which new sirens are inputted. But they recognize that there has been sirens in critical areas, tsunami inundations areas that have been out of service for maybe up to 5 years. And so they're going to address that. But Ha'ima the state still owns the facilities, the infrastructure. They fund it. We just support them on the basis of, what we see as vulnerable and what sirens we think should be operable.
Do you use your staff to keep them repaired, or does the state send out people to keep them repaired?
When there's repairs that we can do, or we have a runaway siren, we'll send out staff to shut them down, see what's wrong with them. If it's beyond our capability, then the state will send out staff, their techs, to take care of it.
A reoccurring complaint on Hawaii Island is that certain warning sirens do not work.
But if your sirens aren't working, it really starts upsetting people. I hear about this obviously in my district. But the other question I have is there was a fire that almost jumped a fire line to take out the houses in Puako. And the decision was not to turn on the siren because if they had flipped the switch, the siren would have gone the whole entire coast, because basically is our siren system only being used for tsunami, which would make sense if you flip the switch and all the coastal sirens went off. But if not flipping the switch, because you don't want all the sirens to go off. So is the state looking at having the ability to turn and off sirens for specific areas?
I think that the term is geofence. We can specifically pick what sirens want to go off. The example I show you is that in 2018 we just activated the sirens in Leilani Estates in that area. So it can be done.
I think it's important for my colleagues and the public to know that every year as a state representative, I would contact the state and say, what communities on the Big Island are you going to install sirens? And I would get a list. And I would call the following year, every single year in January. And amazingly, the list a lot of times stayed the same and the sirens never got installed. And so I'm just curious about you as our head of civil defense, how you get engaged with them on prioritizing the sirens and the placement of sirens. Do they invite you to the table and ask you?
Yeah, the county's involved with any new siren construction or installation placement. So from the beginning, they ask us, and this current administration wants to include the county, as far as prioritizing, like I said, which ones get repaired sooner than later. And so we are part of the process.
Would you please provide us the list for 2023?
Sure. Once I get one, because new administration's in, the logistics folks haven't reached out to us yet as far as coming up with their list, but I'll get you a current one as far as what's out there, what's inoperable, and the status of all of them.